Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you my wrap-up for the Tome Topple Readathon round 14. I have already participated twice in Tome Topple before and failed miserably. So this time I didn't make a TBR or anything, or I didn't commit so hard, but I managed finishing 4 new books and all of them were so excellent. I made it a point to read both fiction as well as non-fiction books within this readathon, and I myself could not believe that I ended up finishing 2 fiction books and 2 non-fiction books. And the best part of all these is that all the 4 books that I read are 5 stars. So without any further ado, let's get into the books right away. I'll leave timestamps in the description so you can jump around if you want to. Now the first book which I finished for the readathon is Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. Now this is the only book from my March TBR which I considered to read during the Tome Topple readathon, and I should say it was a really good decision because this is the first one which I started to read as well as finished reading throughout the entire cycle of the readathon, and it was so much fun. Okay, I just ended up finishing this entire thing within a single week's time, and by the time I was reading this, I also parallelly finished reading another book, which is the second book I'll be talking about. The thing about Chain of Iron is that it was far better than Chain of Gold from my point of view, because in Chain of Gold, I thought the pace suffered a lot because most of the book was just the main characters hanging around together and just sipping tea, going to parties and just enjoying life. But in this one, it was not at all like that. It had a lot more of action compared to Chain of Gold, and the plot also progressed in a very proper way. While concentrating on the plot, Cassandra Clare, as usual, did not give up on the characters. She has developed each and every one of the characters in a really good way, especially Cordelia and James. Okay, I should say they have elevated to really greater levels in this one. Cordelia, more than anyone else, she just stands out as the protagonist in this one more than in Chain of Gold, because I thought, though there was a lot of focus on Cordelia in Chain of Gold, it was not to such an extent that it showed her as the main character that she is. But in this one, all those things have been rectified and she just stands out compared to all the other characters, and it just makes sense why she's that important and that stronger character for the book to progress, and I just enjoyed it a lot. Apart from the main characters, the relationships, which are so specific and so famous for the Shadowhunter Chronicles as a whole itself, were very well done, and each and every relationship that was sparked in the first book is developed in a slow and proper way in this one. There are also certain new relationships which we get in this one, and I'm very interested to see how they are going to end up in the last book. If you want to know my complete thoughts on Chain of Iron, you can check out my review and discussion video which was published just a day before. I'll link it down in the description. Chain of Iron completed one prompt for me, which was to just read a tome. The next book which I finished is Prey by Michael Crichton. Now this is a science fiction story in which we deal with a swarm of nanorobots, and now the special thing about these nanorobots is that they can learn very easily from all the experience that they are put through, because they are programmed and designed in such a way. And the most specific part of all is that they can reproduce and increase their swarm in count and in number, so that's a very dangerous aspect. The thing that happens in this book is that a swarm of such nanorobots goes loose because of some things that happen inside the laboratory in which they are produced, and they are just causing some havoc in the place where they are left out. Now this entire story, or most part of the plot, actually takes place in the center of the Nevada desert, and it is really well written. I can say that the best time to read this one is during summer. Now it is summer in where I live, Chennai, India. I suggest you to read this in summer because it's just perfect. The weather just elevated the mood of this book a lot more for me. It is a bit frustrating at times because of the thriller element that's put into it. I've also filmed a detailed spoiler-free review for this one because this is definitely one of my favorite books of 2021. I'm going to include it in that list for sure, and that review video will be out by this week's end. Once it's published, I'll try to include that also down in the description, so if you're checking this video sometime in the future, you can look into the video if you're interested. Because I should say, for the time in which this book was written, the research that Michael Crichton has done is so evident, and he doesn't make the story boring at all. For the first 200 pages, he lays out the story in such a way that it is a bit slow paced. It's not boring, but it is slow paced. You can just sense that all the things that he's talking about are of importance, but they are not yet revealed. The way in which he reveals the stuff in the later 100 pages of the book, or the later hundreds of pages of the book, is the thing which just made me like this book a lot, because I have not seen this kind of writing that much, and it was really wonderful to read. I've also not read many science fiction books, only a handful of them, and not many of them have stayed in my mind to such an extent or made such an impact, but this one did. And I should definitely say that I was not at all expecting to like this book this much, because I just went in with no expectations at all. The only thing which intrigued me was the concept of the nanorobots being loose and their ability to reproduce. I was totally intrigued by it. How can robots reproduce and increase their number? The way in which the author explains that too in this one was really amazing. And the prompt which this book completed for me was to read a tome out of a genre which I don't usually read. Now, I don't usually read science fiction, and that was the prompt which I covered using this book. Moving on to the non-fiction books, the first non-fiction book which I finished is Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. Now, this is one of such books which many people recommend to be a must read, and after reading this, I'm also telling you guys, I think everyone must read this book. Okay, it is really tough to read. Okay, the concepts or the things that he talks about are so intense that it makes you feel that it's so tough to read, but the language in which it is written is medium. If you ask me, it's not that suitable for beginners. I'd not suggest you to start with this as your first non-fiction book because it'll just drive you crazy. You'll also like it, but it'll make you feel intimidated to pick up any more non-fiction books very soon after reading this one, because it has a lot of things. Okay, lot of things. It almost has the entire history of the world that's put into these 500 pages. And I should say, while I got into the book, I was so much frightened, if you ask me, to be true, because everyone that's read the book and told me, including my brother, said that it was going to be a very intense experience. I went in with such high expectations, and I should say the intensity was very high, but I did not feel overwhelmed or intimidated because of the intensity of the book, because I went in so aware and I was ready to take in whatever the author was going to offer me. I should say this was such a very practical book, and the facts that he furnishes in front of us is totally accurate, I can say. This edition of the book of mine is from 2014, so there might be certain small inconsistencies due to the 7-year gap, but apart from that, it was such an awesome book. Okay, I do think everyone who's a human, okay, who's a Homo sapien, has to read this one, and we should try and understand how we are developing stuff at the same time destroying stuff a lot. Okay, I thought that this was just going to be a history of humankind, but it also showed the extinction of many other species with the advent of human beings into their realms and into their habitats. How much we have done as a species or as a human race, it was so much evident. Okay, we've not just made other species extinct, but also certain races and certain groups of people within our own species itself extinct due to certain things which we did in the name of improvement. Okay, all those things have been laid out. Okay, it is also a very daring book, if you ask me. To write a book like this one, the author must have done a lot of research, must have taken a lot of time, and must have had a lot of guts, because everything that's put into this one, it doesn't leave any stone unturned, starting from science, politics, the environment, and everything. It was just such a great read, and I just enjoyed it a lot throughout. The prompt that this book covered for me was an audiobook tome. Yeah, I did listen to this on audio and followed along with the physical book, and I should say it was a really good experience. The narrator was really good for this one, because the writing style of this one, though intense, is at times humorous, just trying to convey us the mood of the book with the sarcasm that the author has intentionally written it with, and it was very well portrayed by the narrator, if you ask me. I'd also recommend you to try the audiobook. It is not that long. It's a 15 or 16 hour long audiobook, if I'm not wrong, but for a 500 page book, that too, the font in this one is tiny. Okay, it's tiny. For such a huge book, it's not such a long audiobook, and the performance was also really good. The last book which I finished is Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. There are two prompts that this book completed for me. The first one is a book with a seasonal color, so it's summer here in India, so I selected the orange cover. The second one is a book by an BIPOC author. So Paramahansa Yogananda is an Indian, so he's a person of color, so I selected this book for that. Also, another important reason why I picked this book rather than any of the other tomes from my shelf was that I wanted to read an Indian book during this readathon. So if some people from out of India end up watching this video and look up for recommendations, they have to read this, and they can read this if they are interested. This is a book which is totally spiritual in nature, so if you're getting into the book, you have to go in with a very open mind, because if you go in with your own presumptions and assumptions that you have in your life, you cannot definitely enjoy this one or try to understand the things that the author is trying to convey to us. It's just his life story, so anything that happened in that, we don't have the right to judge it or say that it is true or not. I do think everything that's said in this one is really true, because it's a path of enlightenment or a spiritual path that's been discussed has a life journey. Now, the best thing about this book, which I liked a lot, was that he has talked about everything from his childhood to his adulthood, and it is happening in the last few years of the 1800s, if I'm not wrong, to the time after the Second World War. So we get glimpses of both the world wars, both World War I and World War II, and not in fictional ways, the actual way in which the war happened, and just glimpses, not huge things, just really small little glimpses. And also the author's time during when he met Mahatma Gandhi ji, and what are the things that he learned from him, and what are the things that he learned from the other people across the world that he met, and what all he taught, and how his spiritual guru helped to enrich his life, also made him and used him as a pathway in order to take this Kriya Yoga to different parts of the world. It was really well written. The one thing which I said as before that you have to keep in mind is that you will have to go in with a very open mind. If you go in with presumptions, I'm sure that you will be able to find only flaws in this one and not be able to take all the good things that the author is trying to give to you. And yeah, it was a really good read. Just take your time and read it slow, because it is also a very intense book. It's not intense to such an extent that it makes you think a lot, but in order to understand and resonate with certain things that can gel with you in this one, you'll have to give it some time and reflect on the things what you're reading, and I'm sure that it will be a really good experience, and I think you should try it. I'm going to try and make review videos for both Autobiography of a Yogi as well as Sapiens. If I do it sometime in the future, I'll make sure to link those two also down in the description. Okay guys, these are all the 4 books which I read for Tomb Topple round 14, and I'm so glad that I ended it very successfully, and I ended up completing 5 prompts, hence I'm a scholar. Okay, I didn't even think that I'll be reaching the student level, but I reached the scholar. The next aim is to become the sage by completing all the 9 prompts. I don't know when I'll be doing it ever in the future, but I'm going to try, and I'm going to keep it a secret also, just like this time, and just publish the wrap-up videos once I finish and complete the readathon properly. And it was such a really very fun experience. Do check out Thoughts on Tomb's channel. I'll link her channel down in the description, because she's my most favorite booktuber. And yeah, okay, that's all for today. And if you did enjoy watching today's video and found it useful in any way or the other, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel, because I publish new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.